Hello, this is Paul Sutherland coming to you from Placerville. I am wanting to do a video today about vibrato. I've been thinking about this subject for quite a while, and then just here within the last 24 hours, somebody on the forum, Steel Guitar Forum, put up an inquiry about vibrato. And rather than respond to the thread in writing, I thought I would respond with a video. I think vibrato is one of the most important skills that a steel guitar player should work on and develop. I've never heard a good steel player who didn't have a good vibrato. Vibrato helps us make our steel sing. We can mimic the human voice. And it's a skill that can be improved if you work at it. And focused practice, you can improve your vibrato. I would encourage you to listen to good singers. And don't think about the words of the song or the style of the music or any of that kind of stuff. It's a singer who actually is executing well. That's what you want to listen to. Or you could listen to a good violinist, not some country hack. And there's some really good country violin players. There's some really mediocre ones who make lots of money. That's not who you want to listen to. You want to listen to the good people. Listen to a classical violinist, a good classical violinist, and listen to how they use vibrato. I want to talk about the goals, and then I want to talk about what I would suggest as a focused practice that you can engage in. And the practice I'm going to propose to you is what I do every day. Every single day I do this. The goal is to have a range of options. There is no single vibrato that is the correct vibrato. But there are many players who don't have the whole range available to them, and as a result, their playing suffers. So these are suggestions, they're not rules. But let's start right in with, I would suggest that you learn to hit the notes accurately without vibrato, and then bring the vibrato in. Now obviously we're talking about a note that you're going to sustain for some period of time. So you hit the note right on pitch. That's what I mean by accurately, on pitch, and then you bring in the vibrato. That's what good singers do. They don't slide into the note. They don't, hit the note and then kind of work their way until they finally find the pitch where they need to be and then start the vibrato. You want to hit the note accurately, then bring in the vibrato. So part and parcel of that is get out of the habit of sliding into notes. And sliding in meaning sliding into the pitch. Learn to hit the note right on, dead on. Part of that is don't be lifting the bar as you learn to hit the notes. It's not a question of picking the bar up. You'll have to block with palm blocking or pick blocking or whatever, but don't pick the bar up. Vibrato, in most cases, subtle vibrato is all you really want. There are some exceptions. Sometimes the vibrato should be very dramatic. But learn to play with a subtle vibrato. And when I say a subtle vibrato, I mean not a wide vibrato. This is a wide vibrato. That's what I would call wide. A subtle vibrato would be a narrow vibrato. It's moving, but just a little bit. So we're going to hit the notes dead on. And then we're going to bring in the vibrato subtly. Another suggestion or rule, if I can use that phrase, is slow the vibrato down. Most of the time, when I listen to my own playing in recordings, if there's a criticism I have about vibrato, is that it's too fast. And I think most of us can benefit from slowing the vibrato down, particularly on those long sustains. Another suggestion, and this is very much following Paul Franklin, get out of the habit of fishtailing the bar. When you're vibratoing, you want the bar to stay vertical to the fret. I mean perpendicular to the fret. You don't want to vibrato by wiggling the bar like I'm demonstrating right now. That's fishtailing. Then probably the subject that I'm going to actually talk about least, which may be what the forum thread offer wanted to hear, was the difference between rolling and sliding. To me, there's really three things. There's rolling, there's sliding, and then there's what's called bar shiver. I think of bar shiver as an extreme example of sliding. Rolling is where you actually are trying to move the bar, and you're moving the top of the bar more than the bottom of the bar, if that's even possible. And I don't know if it's the wrist. I don't really know how to tell you how to roll, but rolling is really good. But there's not as many places that can use that. More times in our playing, we are sliding the bar. I'm not trying to roll the bar now. I'm just sliding the bar sideways. Versus rolling. When you roll, I think it's easier to do it slow. I mean, it's very hard to roll the bar in anything other than a slow vibrato. Ultimately, you should master both of those because you're trying to expand your range of options. Because some situations you'll want one thing, another situation you want something else. Bar shiver is really sliding the bar, but remember I said hit the note and then bring in the vibrato. Well, bar shiver, as I think of it, you don't hit the note and then bring in this. You start with the vibrato. The vibrato is present all the way throughout, and the vibrato does tend to be more of the wide vibrato. And it does work pretty well on the high stuff. But you can do a phrase, and you can do bar shiver all the way through the phrase until the final sustain, and then do a nice bar roll. So you mix it up all the way. It's easy for us on steel guitar to slide into notes. It's harder for us to hit notes dead on. So I want to encourage you to think about learning to hit the notes dead on and then bring the vibrato in. In working on vibrato, I would encourage you to turn down the special effects. You want to hear the raw steel more than you don't want to be playing the special effects. Now, having said that, I have my reverb on because I just can't quite tolerate a completely dry steel. But in practicing this, you're trying to make it sound pretty with your hands, not with the effects devices and not with the amplifier. You're trying to mimic the singer, mimic the human voice, and make your steel sing. So, having said all that,